Guys, what I'm about to say about Tottenham might sound very crazy, but the honest truth is that they made a huge mistake, and I'm going to explain why. Yesterday, they lost to Atletico de Madrid by 5 goals to 2 in the UEFA Champions League round of 16. I kept on getting calls after the game. Adam, say something about Tottenham Hotspurs. Adam, you were right about Tottenham Hotspurs. Adam, did Mohammed Kudus make a mistake joining Tottenham Hotspurs? A lot of questions, a lot of calls. I was not able to make a video after yesterday's game because I was devastated. I was disappointed. I did not know what else to say about this team. But then after watching videos, after seeing the match again, watching the highlights, look, it was a disaster. And I'm here to say what I saw. Let's call a spade a spade. This team is just falling deep down. And the problem is not only from the players or the coaches, it goes as far as the owners of these clubs, those handling, the club, Tottenham Hotspurs. And I'm here to talk about the problem and what to do next, especially when it concerns Mohammed Kudus. You all know, in Ghana here, Tottenham Hotspurs have fans just because of Mohammed Kudus. We have an emotional attachment to Tottenham because of Mohammed Kudus. So whatever happens to Tottenham happens to us, affects us, and also affects Mohammed Kudus. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. And also, let me know what you think about the situation happening at Tottenham Hotspurs. Let me start with yesterday's game against Atletico de Madrid. I'm going to be very honest. I expected them to lose that game, but then not in that particular manner. That is the honest truth. I expected them to lose it, but the way they lost that game was just so bad. Look, let's be very honest. Atletico de Madrid have pedigree playing in the UCL as compared to Tottenham Hotspurs. Atletico de Madrid are a very big team. Look at their squad. They are also doing very well as compared to Tottenham Hotspur, who is struggling in the EPL, even for survival. So yes, I was not expecting them to win, but then I was expecting them to take the game to Atletico de Madrid, and that was not the case. They conceded 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes, and afterwards, the goalkeeper was changed. Now let's talk about the goalkeeper situation for a bit. Kinsky. The truth of the matter is, when I saw him in the starting lineup, I was shocked. I started asking myself this question. What did Igor Tudor see in this goalkeeper to start him? Maybe he had confidence in the goalkeeper to the extent that he wanted to start him. Or maybe the goalkeeper did something right in training to be able to start him. Because that was one of the bizarre, squad rotation I've seen. And it's not like he changed the entire team ahead of their next game against Liverpool in the EPL. It was only the goalkeeper. The players were almost the same. Mickey Van de Ven was in there, Kelvin down. So almost every single player you would expect from Tottenham was playing. So why change the goalkeeper when Vicario was around? You need an experienced goalkeeper for a game like this. But then let's talk about the goals they conceded. The goals started flowing through several mistakes. First goal, the goalkeeper slipped. It happens in football. Second goal, Mickey Van de Ven slipped. Third goal, the goalkeeper gave a pass away. And then afterwards, the goalkeeper was changed. Now, I see a lot of videos stating that the coach should have at least put his arm around the goalkeeper because the players were doing so. They were hugging him. Christian Romero went to hug the goalkeeper. Vicario, when he was coming in, hugged the goalkeeper. But the coach did not look unconcerned on the touchline. But the truth of the matter is, in that moment, the coach was a human being. He knew that, look, what he had planned has failed. His plan has backfired. And that is the reason why he did not even look in that direction. And I continued to watch the game and the highlights. Every player that came out of the pitch did not get anything from the coach. Not a hug, not a high five, nothing. They did not get anything from the coach. So I get it. And I'm going to pardon him for that. But then I'm not going to pardon him for the fact that his plan backfired. It was a horrible mistake starting Kinsky in the first place. Do you know the last time Kinsky played a football game, a competitive one? 132 days ago. That's crazy, way back in October. And you just throw the goalkeeper into a big game like this. Look, the coach made a horrible mistake starting the goalkeeper in the first place. And that game ended in the first half. Because in the first half, Tottenham lost by 4 goals to 1. Yes, 4 goals to 1. The goals started flowing and they were flowing and they were flowing. As of the 22nd minute, they had considered 4 goals. So the goal, it just came like water. But I think in the second half, they played a bit better. Second half was more like, yeah, Tottenham wanted to prove a point. So Tottenham scored a goal in the second half. Atletico de Madrid also scored a goal in the second half. So at the end of the game, it was 5-2 in favor of Atletico de Madrid. Let's see what they will do in the second leg. But then the big question is that, should Igor Tudor be sacked? Because he's a short-term fix for the problems that Tottenham were facing under Thomas Frank. But I've not seen any difference. He has played 4 games, managed 4 games, and he has not won a single one. It's crazy. Against Arsenal, he lost that game, his first game, and I was like, Arsenal is a very big team. We have to pardon him for that. The next game was against Fulham, and I felt like that game they should have at least won or drawn that game. They did not, they lost. Against Crystal Palace, they lost that game because Mickey van der Ven received a red card in that game. After his red card, they went on to concede about 3 goals on the trot. You understand my point? And yesterday's game was just the highlight of it. A lot of people looked at it and like, no. This is getting worse. This is getting crazier. Because you see, Tottenham's next game is against Liverpool in the EPL, which I believe they are going to lose. Look, that is the honest truth. Unless they change something, Tottenham are going to lose that next game. And it's going to put them in a very peculiar situation when it comes to relegation in the EPL. Now, after that Liverpool game, they would have to go and play the second leg against Atletico de Madrid. And then face Nottingham Forest in the EPL, which is a decider as to whether Igor Tudor is going to be the coach or not. But I feel like this is where Tottenham made a mistake. Tottenham made a mistake, especially with their January signings. You see, they did not prepare for an instance or situation where Mohammed Kudus would have gotten injured. Because since Mohammed Kudus got injured, this team has crumpled. This team is distorted. Look, the mistake they did was letting Brennan Johnson leave and keeping 3 center forwards. It made no sense. You took away your winger and kept 3 center forwards, Kolo Muani, Richarlison, Solanke. That is the same mistake Liverpool did and they are suffering. They were not able to fully replace Luis Diaz after he left for Bayern Munich. And guess what? They signed 2 center forwards. They signed Ishak and also signed Ekitike. That is why they are suffering today. That is exactly the same problem with Tottenham. It is as simple as that. Now, to top it off, Thomas Frank should have been sacked long time ago. They wasted too much time for things to deteriorate before he was sacked. But then the short-term fix, Igor Tudor, was a bad one. It was a bad appointment. Let's call it spade a spade. Igor Tudor, you could have gone for any other coach. Igor Tudor, like that was just it. Like, you understand? I feel like that was just it. Big mistake. Now, let me tell you what the fans are saying concerning this game, because the fans are not happy. Everyone is not happy because Tottenham as a team, if they get relegated, is going to be crazy. Like, imagine Tottenham getting relegated. Now, this is coming from the Tottenham Hotspur Trust. They stated that this is a total disgrace. Tonight's performance and result is a total disgrace, and it is sympathetic of the abysmal state of things at Spurs right now. From the January transfer window to the management appointment, the lack of leadership and the total absence of anyone with a Spurs pedigree informing these decisions. Where is the daring to do? And where are the echoes of glory? This is coming from the Tottenham Hotspur Trust. They also added that emergency action is needed as of right now. We are sleepwalking off the edge of a cliff. At the very least, those in Madrid should have their match tickets refunded. That is the least they could do. Refund the tickets to fans that traveled to Madrid to go and watch that game. That is the honest truth. This Tottenham team is getting crazier. And I'm just hearing rumors that, look, if they get relegated, most of their key players like Mohammed Kudus will definitely be picked up by big clubs. Chelsea are already, being linked to Mohammed Kudus, which is an interesting prospect for me, you understand. But then I know Ghanaians here, because we believe in spiritual, a lot of people will be saying prophecies, because that is what I keep on saying. Oh, Kudus was warned. There was a prophecy. He shouldn't join a team that wears white. He should join a team that wears red. Manchester United or Liverpool. Oh, prophecy. It is what it is. The player is injured, and I believe that the only one who can come in and remedy the situation for them is Mohammed Kudus. If you see Tottenham play, you could see they lack confidence. They lack someone who is going to take the game. That was what Kudus was doing. He was doing it, but when he does it, it's very difficult because the rest of the team, no one has the mindset to take the game to their opponent. When he does it, normally he gets dispossessed easily, but he tries and tries and tries. And when one gets through, he's giving an assist or he's scoring a goal or he's getting a very good chance. That is what we want to see from Tottenham Hotspur. You understand my point? But look, if the coach is not sad, I don't think things are going to change. Just honestly speaking, things are not going to change until after the international break. That is the honest truth.